What's going on, guys? I'm Times, and recently a brand new episode for the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime aired on TV. Episode 99, Eevee, where are you going? To go anywhere to meet up. Which it was a very bad episode for many people because of the ending. And although I may not like the ending too, I at least enjoyed everything before that point. So because of that, I've decided for today's video that I will review this latest episode. Hopefully getting yourself to check out the episode too, if you haven't already. And with that intro now said, let's jump right into this review. So the episode begins off with a nice recap of the Eevee segments if you forgot what happened within those mini episodes. The anime then showcases us new scenes in this episode of Eevee's adorable playful nature and even looks. Like bro, have you seen anything else cuter than this Eevee? Oh wait, there's Lily. Never mind. Lily is cute aside, Eevee then decides to run off into town after hearing you can get some food there. While meanwhile, we witness Lana wake up at her house and learn that her dad will be returning home. Which, to be honest, I never expected us to actually fully see Lana's dad, apart from the occasional not fully shown on screen joke. So that's nice that he's getting character, I guess. More on that later though, seeming as he actually appears towards the very end of the episode. Meanwhile though, Eevee finds herself at Meli Islands Mall. Which, oh god, I have bad memories of that place. But here, it also finds Popplio along with Lana approaching the mall, trying to get some food too. So it decides to follow them to go say hello. However, this of a Persian returns and tricks Eevee into a meeting so it could actually attack it. Eevee eventually realizing this and running throughout Meli Island to try and escape it. Popplio also noticed this, which decides to help Eevee out. Both of them actually managing to escape this Persian by using Aquajet, which was pretty brilliant. You gotta love how Popplio couldn't even run up first though, seeming as it's a seal. Oh, I was dying of laughter during that scene, especially because Eevee was just enjoying this traumatic experience for Popplio as well. Man, that was such episode 16 and Pichu Brothers vibes as well. Same comedy, Pokemon only, and overall entertaining. Going back to Lana though, she eventually realizes Popplio has gone missing, and soon Ash finds her running around in town trying to find Popplio, and he decides to help her, along with the other classmates who so conveniently appeared. Like, Ash and Lana didn't request for them to appear, but they just did by pure chance. Okay then. Meanwhile at Popplio and Eevee, they find themselves on the beach, and Eevee being the amusing, playful boy or girl it is, introduces itself hilariously to Team Skull's Pokemon they find on the beach, which then results in the Team Skull humans wanting to keep Eevee for themselves. Rap because it's cute, and Tub because... because he thinks Eevee will make him look cool for all the ladies. Man, I love Tub. During this conflict though, Ash and his friends find the two Pokemon on the beach and decide to try and stop Team Skull. But this is where Popplio decides it wants to battle by itself against Team Skull for pulling Eevee back and forth, which it then actually learns Serve, which was a very nice twist, and Eevee rides the wave epically, like in that one Eevee segment, and double edges all of Team Skull, making them go flying in the air past Kiori, which that made me die of laughter, even coughing a lot afterwards. The way Eevee used Double Edge 2 was so epic. But the fun stops here, as Lana really likes how Eevee loves the sea and how it's such good friends with Popplio, but she decides to try and capture this Pokemon. I would be fine with this capture, only if the anime didn't make it look like throughout every single advertisement for Eevee that it would belong to another character. There's more to this, but we'll talk about that later. Don't get me wrong though, this capture does make sense in the end, because, you know, both Eevee and Lana love the sea, and you know what, the bond is actually average, but yeah, you'll soon see. The episode then ends off with Lana's dad returning home, which his design looks very cool, not gonna lie. And he actually reveals to his family once seeing Eevee that he saw it serving on a Mantine to Alola, which was a very surprising turn of events. And then Lana gives Eevee a haircut, which to be honest, I do not like that haircut. I get it, it's meant to look like Lana's hair, but ooh, I guess I'll only be really finding its personality cute from now on. I really miss the old look. With that story now said though, let's now move on to my overall thoughts regarding this episode. Wow. Surprisingly, I found this episode to be a bundle of fun. It was humorous in every corner and told quite an average story. Me mainly fanboying over the non-human scenes though. However, it is impossible to make this review without expressing my sincere disappointment regarding Lana catching Eevee. Now trust me, what I'm about to say next regarding this is not gonna be pure hate or rage. As always, I'm gonna stay calm about this situation, as nobody likes to listen to somebody whining angrily. I've actually learned that from you guys who commented about another particular Sun and Moon reviewer doing that all the time. And I did actually make sure in my news video for this episode's preview as well that I stayed calm, although I didn't particularly agree with Lana catching Eevee. You can always count on me on trying to be calm and fair. I barely actually get angry though, unless, you know, it's the Ash Ketchum Team Challenge. Hell, after I get this statement out of the way though, I'll even be talking about good aspects about Lana catching Eevee. Anyway, yeah, let's just jump right into this. So, if you're a new viewer to this channel, or cannot simply think of a reason why I would be disappointed regarding Lana catching Eevee, one reason is because for the past 2 to 3 months, I was so positive Ash would capture Eevee, which I really adored the sound of. It fits him so well as well. Yes, it's an Eevee, and yes, why would the anime give Ash an Eevee only now? However, there was surprisingly a lot of evidence backing up my theory. Such as in almost every piece of advertisements, Eevee was always next to Ash. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee would be released by the time Eevee would be captured too. So obviously Eevee is here in the anime to promote those games, which going to Ash made a lot of sense to me, seeing as Eevee is essentially the second mascot for Pokemon now, and Ash already had one of the mascots in his team already, Pikachu. Along with Ash also kind of being another face for Pokemon if you think about it. So having all the mascots together just made complete sense to me, even if Ash was to release Eevee or keep it at Professor Oak's lab towards the end of Sun and Moon. Eevee's personality and looks from the Eevee segments really struck me as an Ash kind of Pokemon as well. And finally, Ash did, in fact, still needs 2 more Pokemon to join his Alola team, which this Eevee that had been highly advertised would make sense to go to Ash, seeing as no other companion Pokemon has never ever gotten that much advertisement thrown around it. And quite frankly, there isn't enough time to develop a 5th or 6th Pokemon for Ash once he captures it, thanks to the anime having to get through a lot of stuff. I made a full video dedicated to calculating how many episodes there needs to be for these plot important stuff. So if you haven't seen it already, then be sure to check out that video after this one. I'll leave it in the description, iCard, and end card. But right now, it looks like a 5th and or 6th Pokemon will be rushed, thanks to this Eevee going towards another character. At best, the anime can shove in a 5th Pokemon, but a 6th one? It's more likely Popplio would return. In fact, there's another video I'll leave in the description and end card too. Evidence for Popplio's return, and my final prediction for Ash's Alola team. But overall regarding this whole theory of Ash catching Eevee, yeah, obviously that didn't happen, which I am very disappointed by. What makes my wounds worse though, is the fact the anime advertised this Pokemon heavily, getting so many people's hopes up for Ash, only for it to go towards such a minor character. Like, have you ever seen a companion Pokemon ever get that much advertisement? I certainly haven't. And why would they? It's not as important or hype worthy as Ash. And finally, I just actually have a bad feeling at the back of my head that this Eevee will only get 2 to 3 odd episodes dedicated to it, despite it being hyped up this much, thanks to being a companion Pokemon, and thanks to Sun and Moon once again having to get through a lot of things, which won't really do it and Lana any justice. But of course, I could be wrong, and they could have a lot more episodes, and I could end up enjoying their screen time together a lot more later on. At the end of the day though, I'm not gonna downgrade the episode that much for not meeting my expectations. because although I am disappointed by this capture, believing it should have belonged to somebody even better, I still enjoyed aspects of this episode that came before that capture. I showed that in the storytelling section already, and I've still got quite a few things I want to talk about after this statement. For example, remember the episode where Ash loses to Lana in the Kalos League? Well, despite me being disappointed that Ash lost, I can't deny that I loved the entire episode before that. It was some of the best battle action I've ever seen in the anime as a whole. So, it would be unfair for one final ending to an episode to drag the episode down a lot. I'm being mature about this, not trying to let my disappointment unfairly review an episode that I clearly still found good in its first and almost second half. And I plead to you guys that if you are disappointed like me, or even salty, cause holy crap I've seen a lot of burning hate for Lana catching Eevee, that you at least try to review this episode fairly yourself. Remembering that if you like something before the final ending, that you keep it that way, not letting it get overshadowed. And that concludes that statement. I'm so sorry for those who just wanted to know what I thought about the entire episode mostly instead of just the ending, but I just had to get it out of the way. But now, we can continue this review, which I'm going to start things back off by giving my thoughts on Lana's and Eevee's relationship, and even Eevee's character. So far, it looks like the two will develop a lovely bond, so that's at least something that can help me put a smile on my face when I see the two together, instead of just thinking about Ash. Because both of them love the sea too, they already make a great combo regarding interest, and I'm sure the anime will try to find a way to make Eevee help Lana and Popplio with their dream of exploring the sea in a bubble, if they actually have time. Maybe one day Eevee could evolve into a Vaporeon too. Unless the writers are still trying to go with the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee aesthetic, as of course you cannot evolve Eevee in your Let's Go Eevee game. But regardless of what happens, I do like this Eevee's character a lot as a whole too. It's very fun, hysterical, adorable, and actually battles pretty well. Like yo, I still gotta get over that sick double edge. And finally, this episode, I will admit, did do a fantastic job of introducing this Eevee to a mainline episode. It even shoved in some Popplio progression I guess, simply because it learned Surf, which is quite cool. You just gotta love all of Popplio's facial expressions in this episode too. They were very cool. So overall, this episode actually gives us a good mixture if you think about it. From the average plot, to the comedy, and what I just explained for Eevee and Popplio's character. Just maybe the topping isn't so good, which is the capture, but if you take it off, or develop to like it, you will still have a good end product. Man, what is with me and my reviews relating things to food? Haha. But yeah, regarding that capture once again finally, I feel like my disappointment will eventually turn into just decency, I feel like I eventually might like Lana and Eevee being together. But, you know, it just depends if we actually get to see them on screen enough, because, again, Sun and Moon is running out of time. But yeah, again, really good episode regardless. With that section of this review now complete though, let's now move on to the animation and music aspects regarding this episode. Firstly, for the animation, it looked fluid throughout the whole thing. However, my particular favourite highlights have to be Surf, Double Edge, these bubbles returning, and the running animations. They all pleased me quite dearly. Nothing too special compared to the other episodes, but hey, it's at least something. As for the music aspects, it was sweet in this episode as well. From good tunes such as the bell cannon tune that turned into pretty hype music at the very start of the episode, to the Sun and Moon battle music, and the ending music for this episode. Again, not as good as other episodes, but it's still something at least. With that now said though, that concludes all these sections for this review. So all that's left is to give a rating for this episode, which I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, which is actually the same rating I gave for Ash vs. Hal, and 1 rating lower than episode 93, aka the play episode. Yes, I do like that episode more. I actually feel like I laughed more in that episode compared to this one, you know? But yeah, regardless of other episodes, this episode is actually entertaining if you don't let salt take over you. So, I recommend that you watch this episode if you haven't already. If you have watched this episode though, then do let me know in the comments down below what you actually thought of this episode though, as we all have different opinions. I love to hear. But that, everybody, now finishes off this review. So, if you enjoyed this video, then do be sure to consider leaving a like, a subscribe, and a share for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. Entity Maze merchandise is available in the description below too. For now, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching.